Hey, loves. Welcome to the very first episode of Sassy Speaks. Thank you for taking the time to come and spend some time with your girl. I'm Sassy and I have a lot to say and nobody to listen to me. So, you guys are my new BFFs. So, let's get it. On the very first episode, we are going to talk about love. Love. Since it is the month of February, we know that it's Valentine's Day and everybody wants to have all the feels and the cuddlies and all that good stuff. Love is cute until it's not. Okay, let's be honest. Have you ever fallen in love with someone's potential? We all have. And we know that we put our love shades on and we want to see what they can be and completely ignore the person that they are showing us that they are. So let's set the vibe. February has everybody in their feelings. Hearts, flowers, chocolate, candies, candles, matching pajamas, couples taking pictures, going on dates, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, half of y'all are crying in the bathroom over somebody who is just bad at texting. Or in reality, you can't just get a text back. So today we're going to talk about the difference between love and emotional attachment, fantasy and straight up delusion, because we know some of these are delulu. And honestly, sometimes it's not love. It is hope wearing lingerie. So let's clear this up because some people confuse these two all the time. So let's talk about what is love? Being in love, what does that feel like for you? Of course, it's different for everybody, but the basics, right? When you're in love and it's mutual, right? You feel safe and not anxious. You know where you stand. You know your part that you play with a person. Um, I am married, been married for almost 8 years. This is my second marriage. And so of course, I had some insecurities about, some things that happened during my first marriage. And I would tell my husband, my current husband now, oh, I have certain insecurities. And he told me this one line that will always stick with me. You have insecurities, but I give you security. Oh my gosh, if that did not just knock me down, shut, shut my mouth all the way up. And he was right, telling the whole truth because he has never made me feel anything less than what I was. So yeah, y'all got to get you a good man. But anyway, back to the topic. Yes, you need to feel safe in his arms. Not as safe as Jesus, but safe. And not have anxiety, thinking about this, that have I mean, if he gives you that little bit of time and effort, just a pinch, he will have your whole head wide open and you're wondering where, what, how, when, and where this man is. And all he doing is trying to get a check so he can take you on dates. But yes, anxiety when they don't call, they don't text, they don't check on you. I mean, behavior says it everything. And you can't tell me that they cannot take the time to check on you, you know. And that leads us into our next point of consistency and not confusion. Love is consistency. Yes, I need to know how my love is doing. I need to make sure my love is okay. I know that my love has a problem with not hearing from me, so I'm gonna do my best to check in. not just a random good morning text that everybody's in rotation. But I'm going to try to do the things that I know makes my love feel comfortable in being who they are with me. And we'll get into that a little bit later. And that also means, is the effort going both ways? Is it just me texting every time? Is it me just trying to make every date? Is it me putting in the effort? It's a two-way street. You can call, you can text, you can plan the dates, you can take me out. It's a two-way street. So what effort are we seeing here? Is it a one-way streets or two-way streets? And lastly, do we even like this person? Or we just like the idea of being in love or being in a relationship? Because it matters. It definitely matters. And you have so many people who are there just for the idea, right? And we need more than just an idea. So, in all, being in love, you're not constantly wondering where you stand. And you're not just left rereading text messages. We have all been there. No shame, no judgment, no shame. So, now what does being attached feel like, right? So, when we're attached and not in love, those are when those obsessive thoughts come in. You know, they're not consistent. So they're not allowing you to know what they're doing, how they're doing, how they feel about you, things of that moment. I'm not saying we gotta conversate all day, every day, because I mean, we do have jobs. I hope we have jobs, or things that we need to do. But we also need to have, again, like I said, put that person's mind at ease. And if this is what we want, if you are who I want, I have no problem doing that. You know, being attached, fear of losing them more than the joy of having them. Oh my goodness. I was fine before you came into my life, and I will be fine after you come out of my life. Now, I ain't gonna say it's not gonna be hard to get fine afterwards, but at some point, we're going to be fine. Um, and we don't want to go through a whole relationship in that fear because you're not enjoying anything. And if they're not consistent in letting you know that they are here, then what are we really doing? That's about communication and being consistent. Are we ignoring the red flags? Because again, we're in love with the idea. We got them love shades on. So red is sure looking green to me. Or we're just sitting here like, oh, well, that's just an accident. Or he won't do it again. And again, I'm saying he just because I'm a lady. I'm a lady. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't go both ways. But I know it feels good right now. Or does he go and commit these red flags and then come back with something that he knows is going to make me feel good? We can't ignore these flags, people. We can't. Lastly, are we trauma bonding? Have we just been through so much that we feel like we just need to stay together? Hmm, that's not good. We want to feel loved. We don't want to be in trauma. And I understand that relationships go through things, people go through things. But this is when we need to see if the good outweighs the bad. Because we should not be trauma bond into a relationship. That's a whole nother series. But honestly, if you feel more stressed than secured, that is not butterflies, sweetheart. That is your nervous system filing a complaint, ringing the bell, because something has got to give. And then when we really want to embarrass ourselves, we fall for potential, right? Instead of patterns. Patterns tell you everything you need to know, but we want to date people for who we think they could be. Oh, I can change him. Oh, I can clean him up. What they say? You rinse him off. You can rinse him off and he'll be the man that you want him to be. And then they're telling you that they are going to be a come who you want them to be any day now. What? Ah, meanwhile, their patterns are loud and consistent. Again, there's that word again, consistent. Actions speak louder than words. You can tell me anything, but what are your actions telling me? Because that's what I'm going off of. We not about to sit here and talk me to death. And your actions are saying something totally different. That is not what's happening. So you tell your people, oh, they have so much potential, or they've been through so much. Once things settle down, we gonna be all right. Honey, the way life is lifing ain't never gonna settle down. Because if that's the case, you gonna be in it. That's how people get into 30, 40-year relationships, not married and just living and just surviving. That is not the life. I promise you. It is not the life. So if they don't want to be there, don't force them. If you don't want to be there, don't force it. This is not build a bear or quote unquote build a partner. 'Cause not, we not finna do that. We are too old to be doing that. You know, patterns tell you the truth. Potential tells you a bedtime story. And we all know how them bedtime stories can do us. Rockabye Baby. That is really a dark song. I don't know. Have we ever listened to the words of it? I know I'm getting off topic, but that is a dark song. And honestly, when I think about it, a lot of those children's songs are dark. What is happening? Hmm. Okay, sorry, back on topic. We can say also, they have a good heart. Ooh, this one right here. How many of this has taken us out? They have a good heart. Yeah, that might be true. They might be kind, they might mean well, and they might care about you. But they can still be inconsistent, emotionally unavailable. If that ain't the worst, I'm trying to tell you, not ready or not capable of giving you what you need. So let's just take a pause right here. You want to be with somebody that's not emotionally available. Well, what are you doing? What is going on? Why are you not emotionally available, but you wasting my time? And I know for me, being emotionally unavailable is just about as bad as going out there and cheating on me because I need a lot. I need a lot. And if you're not ready, then can we just say that? Can we just say that? Let's be honest. But emotionally unavailable, not ready, and not capable of giving you what you need on top of being inconsistent, uh, red flags. What else do we need to say that this is not the relationship that we need to be in? You know, yeah, you can have a good intentions. And like they always say, two things can be true at the same time. Yeah, you could still care about me. And yeah, you have a good heart, but you still not giving me what I need. So what are we doing, baby? What are we doing? You know, and then that takes me to you can love somebody and still not be with them. You can love somebody and then not be good to you. You can love somebody and still decide to leave them because you have to ask yourself, do you love yourself more or do you love them more? Hmm, that's a deep question. I love myself and I love my man. But if it comes to a point that I have to lessen myself to be with my man, then that's a problem. It's a give and take, of course, but I should not have to get smaller in order to have a healthy relationship. And I shouldn't have to not be happy and sacrifice so much of what I want just to be with this person. You know, a good heart with no effort is just vibes. And vibes don't build relationships, honey. Let me tell you. They say love don't pay no bills, and vibes don't build no relationships. That's just how it is. So, why do we confuse chaos with love? Let's dig in a little deeper, you know, because of course this problem of ignoring the red flags of being with somebody that's not consistent um didn't just start. This is from a lifetime of you not knowing what a good relationship is or not knowing that you deserve a good relationship. So if you grew up around inconsistency, emotional highs and lows, love that felt unpredictable, that is what you expect. And that is a whole nother conversation, but that is what you expect. And so when you get to experience healthy, calm, peaceful love, you think something is wrong. You think something is, not right. This just can't be. Because, if it's not common for what we know and different, if it's different, we are always so quick to be like, what is going on here? But you deserve love. Mama D, I deserve to be loved. That's what she said. But you deserve to have a healthy love. And let me tell you, I've had both. And love that is done right is amazing. You know, um, being with somebody that listens to you, takes care of you, cares about you, loves you, and actually show it, that's a whole nother level, I'm trying to tell you. So you shouldn't be with somebody that gives you anxiety, that give you mixed signals, or put you on emotional roller coasters. You know. I'm on the emotional roller coaster. Loving you ain't never healthy. Loving you ain't never good for me. I know I tore that song up, but y'all feel what I'm saying. But that is not love. That is where you might feel comfortable because that's all you know. But that is not what love is because you should know where you stand with whoever you're trying to be with. And if they're not trying to confirm that, then you need to double check, what are we really doing? You know, some of us aren't addicted to love. We're addicted to the emotional roller coaster. Hmm. Is that you? I'm too old. I need stability. And I know back in my younger days, woo, that emotional roller coaster was like drugs because you felt like you were going up and down. They loved you. They were fighting for you because they mad, all that good stuff. But honey, let me tell you, that ain't where it's at. Healthy love feels stable. Yes, stability. I know where I stand. I know what I mean to you. You know what you mean to me. And we can't mistake peace for lack of passion. Passion is serious, and passion is a wonderful thing. But I want to have my peace and I want my passion. Right? So this is what I want y'all to do. I want you all to send me your stories about the red flags that you ignored because they were different with you. And we're going to talk about that next week. And yes, we are exposing our own clownery too, because we have all done some things, been some things, and did some things that we know we shouldn't have. Well, I want you to answer this question. Have you ever realized you weren't in love with the person, just a version of them that you made up in your head? Think about that. Let that sink in. And it's no judgment. This is a safe space. No judgment zone because again, we have all been there. And it's part of life, right? You grow, you learn, and you get to a point to where you know the difference, right? Love is supposed to add peace to your life, not auditions, anxiety, and detective work. If I got to be running around here checking your pages, checking your phone, tracking locations, putting trackers on your your car and all that stuff, that is not where it's at because why? There are too many people out in this world for me to have to put on my Dora Explorer hat to try to keep up with you. You go where you want to be. So if you want to be at her house, if you want to be at his house and not home, then you could pack your bag and you could be there. And it's just as simple as that. Because we just don't have time to be doing working a full-time job. You know, if you got kids, if you trying to build your business, if trying to enjoy life, who got time to be doing all that? I no. No. But if you have to constantly decode someone's feelings, that is not romance. That's a group project that you didn't sign up for because I promise you, if they're not being truthful and giving you their all, they're splitting it 50-50, 25, 10, 5, however, but it's not 100. And honey, you need 100. So reach out to me, send me your stories. And next week, we'll take some time out to read these stories and get a town hall to discuss our bad decisions. And I'll be sure to share some of mine too. So again, no judgment zone. But next week, we're going to talk about the red flags that we thought were cute, but were not. So get at me, email sassyspeakspod@gmail.com. Facebook, Sassy Speaks. I will list this as a discussion and we can continue on there. And on IG, Sassy Speaks Pod. So let me know your thoughts. Send me those stories and let's meet up again. All right, loves. Stay safe and always remember how we gonna act.